Good morning. It is Monday. I am getting ready to leave the house. I have to go to the laundromat. I've been putting it off for months. I need to go wash our comforter because the blanket that I have on my bed now, I don't know, he doesn't like it. I'm not quite sure why, but whatever, you know. Pick your battles, right? So I'm going to go do that. I don't really have plans today other than getting that done. I feel kind of weird today. Mentally weird. I don't know. I'm going through a phase right now. It's kind of hard to explain. Actually, it really isn't hard to explain, but it's very sort of personal. Oops. It's very personal, and it's something that I don't think a lot of people either would want to hear about or would care, because it's really not that big a deal, and it's just something that I gotta work through in my little brain, you know. Hold on, I gotta flip the old head. Just gonna do a little bun here. It's kind of stupid, but it's making me feel a certain kind of way. But I can't put my finger on how I'm feeling. I guess indifferent would be a good descriptive word. I'm feeling somewhat indifferent about life and certain things. Sometimes I wish social media never existed. You know, you leave your house and you leave your house. No one can get a hold of you, right? You leave the house, you go to the store, you just go to the store. You do your thing. You don't have a cell phone. You know, back then when you left the house, somebody called, you'd leave a message on the answering machine, right? If your work tries to get a hold of you, you know, nowadays, if your work tries to get a hold of you and you don't answer the phone, the first thing they think, or the first thing they say when they finally do hear from you is, why didn't you answer your phone? Well, because I don't have to, right? But I kind of miss those days of just not being so available. And it's like nowadays, everybody has a cell phone. Everyone has a cell phone. And, you know, there's really no excuse. Answer your phone, answer a text, whatever, and people expect it, right? Answer, answer, answer. And when you don't, they start jumping to conclusions. I'm kind of getting off the topic of why I even started to talk about this. But anyway, I just sometimes really miss the days before social media. And this is something that my kids, well, no, Joshua, actually, yeah, Joshua is old enough. Phones weren't, let's see, I think I got my first cell phone in like 1998. But anyway, kids nowadays, they just have no idea what it's like to not live in to live in a society where there aren't cell phones and there isn't technology, but you know, there are a lot of us, obviously, that remember that. And I feel like it was a simpler time. You know, if you lived in a small town, you sort of had to wait on the town gossip, right? There's always that one person in the neighborhood that just can't help themselves. That one person in the neighborhood that's like Twitter. Hey, don't do that, you're going to break it. The cat's sitting on my desk, and he's right. Why do cats do that? Why do they have to rub on everything? Gato, stop. I have that little lamp on there with the glass. Hey, man. Hey, stop doing that. You're gonna break it, you weirdo. Anyway, I'm just babbling. But I miss the days when there were no cell phones and no internet. And obviously, it is just as easy as turning it off, you know, but it's like, it's difficult, and especially for me, actually it's not difficult, but I'm kind of, I'm I'm invested, right? With YouTube. And yeah, I could just walk away. No one would ever hear from me again. It would be just as easy as saying, hey, I'm out of here, have a nice life, and just, that's it. You know, and shutting off Instagram and all that. Like, I could just disappear. Sometimes I think about that. Sometimes I think to myself, I wish I could just disappear. And not from people in my life, but just the internet in general. Sometimes I wish there was a way for me to wipe my identity off of the internet. But I can't. There are a lot of people, most people I would say, if you type their name in, something will come up. Everybody's online. Sometimes I just miss those days. Look at this. Right? Who doesn't love pancakes? I don't think I've ever met anyone that doesn't like pancakes. I'm gonna go do this laundry. I don't think I'm gonna take the camera with me though. I'm not in the mood to vlog today. If you can't tell. Because I'm in a little bit of a mood. Alright, I'm back from the laundromat. There's the old comforter. We're definitely going to have to get another comforter sometime this year because that one is on its last leg. Actually, I can't say that because it's still in good shape, but it's not as like heavy. You know what I mean? It's not like how a new comforter feels nice and heavy and sort of fluffy, and you know, after washing it so many times when I wasn't supposed to, it doesn't feel the same way anymore. So anyway, man, I can't shake this feeling that I have. And I want to talk about it, but I don't. It's hard for me to keep quiet, I guess, because, you know, when you feel strongly about something, you want to talk about it. But at the same time, I don't know, I have a feeling that this is about to be all over the place. I have a feeling that what I'm about to say, it's going to be all over the place, and it may not make sense. Maybe I shouldn't even talk about it. All I'm going to say is this, because I just can't help myself. Battery died. Is that a sign maybe I shouldn't be talking? I don't know if I believe in signs. Alright. When you feel a certain way about something, it makes you feel good to be around like-minded people, right? Because it makes you feel confident in your beliefs. And it almost seals your beliefs, right? Like, there's so many people that feel the same way I do. I must be right. But how well-rounded does that make you? You know? Yes, I feel like it's natural for people to gravitate towards groups that are like them. It's a natural thing, isn't it? At least I think it is. What is unnatural, and it almost feels like you're going against your grain, right, is to maybe surround yourself with people who don't feel exactly the same way that you do. Be around people who have differing views. Be around people who are able to bring something to the table, give you something to think about. I feel like, yes, it's good to be around like-minded people, but you can't always do that, right? Because then you're really not well informed. You're missing out on a whole other side. What's that saying? There's always two sides to every story. It's the same thing with current events, right? Things that are going on in America now. And maybe where you live, you know. I know there are things going on all over the world, right? But you can't be so one-sided. You can't be so one-sided that you're not open to hearing opposing thoughts or ideas, right? If you are so hell-bent on your beliefs that you absolutely cannot accept maybe factual evidence, or the fact that somebody else may feel a different way, or that somebody else may have another opinion. What does that say about you? I don't want to be that kind of person. I want to be open to other ideas and perhaps ways of looking at things. I want to be the kind of person that's open to being challenged, right? And having really good, interesting, lively talks, debates, whatever you want to call it. I really like that. But it's hard to, right? It's hard to find people that have opposing views, that you can actually sit down and have a constructive discussion. I see it on Instagram all the time. As soon as somebody posts something that might be considered controversial, people just jump all over that person. You know, don't offer any sort of facts. Don't offer any opposing view. Just hop on Instagram and just bash somebody for what they think or what they believe. You know, or bash someone because they presented facts that you don't like. What is happening? You know, I realize I'm new at this. I'm new at being 45. I'm new at, what is this, middle age? I don't know, is this middle age? You know, this is all new to me. But the idea of what's happening now and kind of like what I'm feeling, it's not new. Everyone before me went through this. Unless you live in a bubble, right? Or you live out in the middle of nowhere where you don't have TV or anything like that and you have no idea what's going on. Unless you live in those types of circumstances, you are very much aware of what's happening in our world right now. So, for me, I guess the problem comes when you have to watch what you say or watch what you post, because you may run the risk of hurting somebody's feelings. You may run the risk of being called insensitive. But I still think, that you have a duty to yourself. I don't know. You're always going to run the risk of offending someone, hurting someone. And the problem for me comes when, if I have respect for somebody, if I respect you, and let's say I say or I've done something that really bothers you, that's going to bother me. I'm a human being, right? Now, in general, I'm really not so concerned about people's feelings, like society in general. If I say something or I do something or I post something that somebody might consider offensive, I don't care. But if I know you and I have respect for you, of course that's going to bother me, because I don't want to hurt people that I respect. But at the same time, where does it end? Right? Where does it end? So are you just silent all the time because you don't want to hurt feelings, or do you take that risk? It's very individual. That is a very individual feeling. It's an individual choice that you make. You know, and you run the risk of saying or doing something that may hurt someone. But it's like, where's that fine line? But it's a choice. Again, it's a very personal, individual choice that you have to make. And of course, you're always going to run that risk, right? So, I don't know. There's always going to be tragedies. There's always going to be something bad that happens. Always. It's never going to end. It won't go away. What's the answer? You know? How do we solve these problems? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Nobody does. You may think you do, but you really don't. And ideas that are being proposed, they're not going to solve the problems. If anything, sometimes ideas that are being proposed and put into effect, they make things worse. What's it? What is that human nature? You tell somebody they can't do something, and what happens? It makes them want to do it. That's human nature, right? Where do you draw that line? Is it maturity? Is it experience? Is it being able to just turn it off? Is it something that you just, you know, maybe your personality where you're just like, it doesn't matter. You know, I don't need to say that. I don't need to post that. People don't need to know my feelings on this. Honestly, it doesn't. I mean, the average person, you can say and think what you want. It's not going to make a difference. Who does it make a difference to? Maybe you, yourself, your friends, your family. But in the grand scheme of things, one person's voice is not heard. Maybe now with social media it is. One person can make a... I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. All I know is that if you're a human being and you have a conscience and you have feelings and I was going to say sympathetic, but I'm not the most sort of sympathetic / empathetic kind of person. Common sense. I just feel like common sense is a big factor, and I feel like a lot of people lack common sense. I don't know if I'm going to post all this. It might offend someone. There are several people, there's actually quite a few of you, that I have been interacting with for years. And we have this, you know, internet relationship. And I really feel like if I were to meet some of you in real life, we would probably be really good friends, like in real life. But I also feel like, too, that there would or might be a bit of a strain. But again, it goes back to that whole hanging out with like-minded people. That's kind of boring, isn't it? To be around people who feel the same way that you do, who agree with everything you say. You really want to be around someone that agrees with everything you say? I mean, isn't it nice to every once in a while be challenged? To have your views challenged? Maybe get you to think a little bit? I love that. I don't like it when people are nasty about it, or when people are sarcastic, you know, or they throw feelings into it. Because I like Ben Shapiro, and he always says, facts don't care about feelings. And it's true. Feelings have nothing to do with facts. That's harsh. You might say, that's really harsh, Felicia. But it's true, right? I miss the ignorance of childhood. I do. Ignorance is bliss, right? The more you know, the more informed you are, the more miserable you become. Is that how it works? I have one friend in real life. One friend in real life that I can talk to about things like this. And this person feels the exact same way that I do. But what's good about this person is that they are also able to bring in another side of things, which I really like. That's how I like to be. That's how I would like to be. And I'm working on being that way. And I'm making little changes. I'm not so stuck in my bubble that I can't realize, oh, there's so much more. You know, so I like conversations with this person because they get me thinking, and that's what I like. I like to be around people that get me thinking. But as soon as you become nasty, this is where the feelings come in, right? Because people get hurt, so they just decide to call you names, and they just get really vile. They don't like what you're saying, even if it's right. Even if it's true, they don't like what you're saying, so they get nasty. That's when I start to have a problem. And that's when things start to break down. Very rarely can you get somebody past that point to where they'll actually stop acting like a big baby and they'll start listening, you know, and then you can, like once you break through that, then you can have a discussion, like a real meaningful discussion. I love that. I just hate that it's so hard to get there. And when I talk to somebody, this is what I don't like. What I'm about to talk about now is in reference to a conversation I had on Instagram with somebody that I know who refused to answer a question. All this person kept doing was stating facts about things. I mean, this person was all over the place. Wrote this long dissertation, right? Citing facts and all kinds of stuff like that. And I said, that's good. Now tell me, what are 3 things that you would propose? You, individually, using your brain. I didn't say this, but I'm thinking. Just answer the question. I'm asking you as an individual. I'm not asking you to cite facts. I'm asking you as an individual, what would you propose to solve this problem? She couldn't do it. She couldn't do it. And it got a little frustrating. And I was just like, okay, well, it was great talk. See, there's a time when facts really work out good. Facts are always good. But if I'm asking you a question as to what would you do or what would you propose, I'm not asking you to tell me what someone else would propose. I'm asking you to tell me what you would propose. She couldn't do it. And I just sat there like, wow. How many times can you avoid answering the question? I don't know. It was kind of frustrating, actually. It was very frustrating. It's 2:30. I've done nothing today except sit in front of the TV and go to the laundromat. And I cleaned up a little bit. This is going to be a one-day vlog because this part's already way too long. My throat is hurting. The back of my throat, where my nose meets the back of my throat, it's like on fire. It hurts. There's so much pollen outside, it's not even funny. I'm gonna go make something to eat. There's one more thing I wanted to say in regards to people getting nasty and sarcastic and being difficult when it comes to trying to talk. It's annoying. All right, it is. It's really annoying, and it puts people on the offensive. But one of the reasons why I hate it so much is because it makes it almost impossible to just talk about the subject at hand. If you have somebody who's just, I mean, so defensive and so angry, how far are you really going to get with that person? That's why it bothers me. It's not so much that it's, you know, it's not, for me, yeah, again, it's annoying, and it just makes you sit there like, are you stupid? Are you really that dumb? You're going to say all these ignorant things, and then you're going to be sarcastic? Well, why can't you just talk? Why can't you just, you know, have a civilized discussion instead of tossing around the insults? Why? Does it really make you feel good to be that kind of person? So, and obviously, that's been proven since day one of internet. There are people who are like, ooh, I can get on here and I can say all kinds of nasty stuff and nobody's going to even know it's me. Because there are cowards like that. I think it's the coward's way out when people do that, when they sling insults. But yeah, it's annoying, and it's frustrating because you really want to get down to a discussion, and you really want to get to the heart of the issue, but you can't because you're dealing with somebody who, you know, mentally just can't. That's what it is for me. It's not so much how it makes me feel, it's not so much about the feelings involved when somebody gets nasty. It's more so that, can't we just talk? We can agree to disagree, but let's talk. Tell me something. Tell me why you feel the way that you do. Show me some evidence. Link me to a website. That's when people get agitated too, as soon as you ask for evidence. Well, I mean, no. That's all. I just wanted to hop in. I just wanted to say that because it's not, yeah, feelings. Everyone has feelings. My feelings get hurt. I'm a human freaking being. But at the same time, you just have to get past that. You know, and some people just aren't capable. All they're capable is slinging the insults. They're not capable of being civilized. And that's what's annoying to me. I just finished eating. I'm like contemplating finishing off the rest of this because it was really good. So it doesn't look very appetizing. But I'll show you what I made here. So I'm not on like the keto diet, but I've been reading about it, and I've been wanting to limit the amount of carb. Whoops, sorry. I've been wanting to limit the amount of carbs that I'm eating because I feel like I eat a lot of carbs. Not completely take them out of my diet, but just, you know, cut back a little. So I made this. This is riced cauliflower, chicken. I cut chicken off of drumsticks that we had last night. Chicken, some of the salt, the seasoned salt that I got from Whole Foods. That's the kitchen salt. And diet cheese, and I cooked it in a little bit of, I can't believe it's not butter. Actually, I feel like I put a little too much in there because it was kind of buttery, but whatever. But it was really good. I'm thinking of finishing it off. This morning for breakfast, I had egg whites and 3.5 pieces of turkey bacon, and that was it. And I did pretty good. I didn't feel like hungry or anything after, so. But yeah, I'm just gonna try to limit the amount of carbs I eat. Maybe just have, you know, some carbs at dinner or something. I don't know. I wanted to show you guys this new mascara I got. My friend Shelly asked me to try this out, and so I decided to go ahead and give it a go. It is the Total Temptation from Maybelline. This is what it looks like. And I'll just read to you guys some of the claims. Fluffy, full fluffy lashes, 85% saw bold full volume, no overload, 92% saw lengthened lashes, 4 out of 5 loved their lash look. So, as far as the overload goes, the mascara, hold on, I gotta put this down. First, let me show you my lashes, okay? So, this eye is my beloved L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise, and this eye is the Maybelline Total Temptation. So, let me come down here. Hopefully you guys can see the lashes. Here, hold on. I don't know. I still like my L'Oreal. One thing that happened with this, why is this on? When I originally put this on, I do like the wand. It's nice and small. So there's the brush. What happened was on the tip of the brush here, there was a lot of mascara, and I didn't notice it at first. And a lot of times I will sort of take off the excess. I don't know why I didn't. I would definitely recommend taking off the excess on the end of the brush, because what happened was when I put the mascara on, it really clumped up on the inner lashes, and I had a really hard time getting it off. I have a lash comb, so I had to get my lash comb out and comb through the lashes on the inner corner because there was just a gob of mascara. So I went over and I did this eye. And this is a newer tube, so it's still a little bit on the wet side. But I feel like this is still a better look for lashes. Hopefully it's. I mean, this isn't bad, but I don't feel like I'm getting the volume from it that I am from the Lash Paradise. So I don't know. It's not bad. It's not a bad mascara at all. I did put 2 coats on each eye, and I had like a major mess to clean up over here from all that mascara that clumped up, which that was my fault. So just, you know, make sure you take off the excess on the end of the brush, because otherwise you're going to end up with a mess like I did. But, I mean, this isn't bad. I just don't, I mean, I just don't think that you get quite as much volume with this as you do the L'Oreal. I do like the tapered end on that brush, but I haven't had any issues using the Lash Paradise as far as, like, you know, the amount that goes on. So, but tapered brushes are good, especially for anyone that has smaller eyes or, you know, whatever the case may be. But whoops, I saw. It's not a bad mascara. I don't regret buying it. I will use it, but I definitely like the Total or the Lash Paradise better. Yeah, I just don't feel like my lashes look as full on this side as they do on this side. They look much fuller over here. One thing I wanted to say before I forget is I realize that a lot of people like watching vlogs because it's, you know, it's somebody else's life, and sometimes vlogs can be like a nice escape from your everyday life, or it can be a nice escape from reality, or, you know, maybe things that are going on in your life. Like you watch other people's lives, maybe just to kind of get away, right? Or maybe you're not having a very good day, and so you watch a vlog because you're counting on that person maybe making you laugh, or you know, whatever the case may be. I definitely don't want to be that kind of person that every time you turn my vlog on, you're dreading watching it because you're just like, God, what's she gonna get real about today? You know, I don't want it to be that way, and I know definitely I'm not going to be that way every single time I turn the camera on. It's just that sometimes, especially when things happen and they're very fresh in my brain, sometimes it's hard for me to ignore that. And I do feel like I would be doing a bit of a disservice if I was anything but myself. And this is part of who I am. I feel like everyone, no matter who you are, you have those little quirks about you that just make you you, and that just make you unique, obviously. I don't know what I'm trying to say. All I want to say is that it's not always going to be doom and gloom when you click on my vlogs. It really isn't. It's just that every once in a while things happen and I need to just get it out. Sometimes it's not going to make sense. Sometimes you guys are going to totally disagree with me. It's, you know, and I expect that. I don't expect people to agree with me 100% of the time. It's ridiculous. But sometimes I just need to get this stuff out. And because I don't have people in my daily life apart from the man, and I can't bombard him every day, I don't have really anyone to sort of vent to or get this stuff out to. And even though I'm not getting an instant response from any of you, I know I will. You know, there will be someone that will comment on what I said, and I look forward to reading that. I have been slacking on comments. I just haven't felt good. I haven't been in the mood. I have literally been uploading videos and then I don't go on YouTube. Apart from not feeling very good, that's part of it. The other part is I just sometimes I let my psyche get the best of me, and I won't look at comments. I haven't looked at comments on my last video. I don't know. Anyone who's been with me long enough knows I go through these stages. I'm a weirdo.